the Zoom.
Yes,
Over
yeah.
Zoom, it wasn't.
fire.
It wasn't
There you
as
go.
powerful. Like,
Yeah.
Just not,
have
yeah.
you in the,
We could start, bro. We running?
Yeah.
Are we good?
Check.
Check. Mic check 1 2.
Check,
Mic
check.
1 2 3 4. Is this
5,
like
6, 7,
a
8?
good? Is this like a good distance from me?
It's usually like,
Okay, bro. Like my voice is garbage right now because like
COVID.
we're at the streamies.
Oh, my sister was at the streaming.
Wait, hold
yesterday.
this. We need to talk about this on the show.
All right, should we just
Are we
open it
rolling?
up with that? That was a good reaction too, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
okay.
Hey, you know, it's just,
Oh, yeah, we can do
we're
the
looking
intro.
At that they're looking
Yeah,
at
yeah.
that camera, boy. You looking
It's
at
the
that
worst
camera,
start.
boy.
We said we'd have tequila on an episode, and
What camera
here
were
we are.
looking at? This one
So
right here?
no, it's just one straight ahead. It's just one camera.
Fire. Sounds good. Sounds
yeah,
good. Sounds
so,
good.
Welcome back to Divij's Den. Okay, bet. That was the worst fucking intro we ever done.
I might need that. My nerves is like.
I feel like you don't get nervous anymore. You still get nervous?
Fuck yeah, I get nervous. Why do you think I turned on the air conditioner? Because I couldn't find the damn menu button on the fucking Lumix cameras. That shit made me nervous. When you're supposed to be a professional and you can't fucking figure out the menu settings, like.
Wait, so you say streamies?
Yeah. So bro, we were at the streamies. I want to say 2 days ago. My voice is really bad right now. I'm not even gonna lie.
You
to guys.
sound totally fine, bro.
I
You
sound like a
normal.
frog right now, bro.
Why? Why?
So I pulled up to Divij's house. First night I landed in LA, put up to his house. I was super energetic, super motivated, super happy. And I spent about 2 weeks in LA ever since. And now I'm going off of like 4 hours of sleep. My voice is messed up.
LA.
But we're making crazy progress.
That's great. And we should probably introduce the fucking guest, yeah?
I think that would be a good idea.
We got a lot going on here, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Divij's Den podcast, episode 61. Two.
61 or
This is how
2.
prepared I am. But no, we got a very special guest, man. Thank you. Well, first off, thank you guys so much for tuning back into the podcast. I'm about to get hammered. I got a show in about an hour.
Dude, is that a good idea?
Yes.
Is that a
it's
good
great
idea?
It's
It'd be
a
like,
great idea.
what was the lyric?
It's all good.
No, I'm just kidding. It'll be fun.
But no, we got a very special guest, man. I've been trying to get him on the podcast for a while, and somebody that I've been watching for actually a long time. And I feel like you've been kind of subtly in my YouTube feed, and now that I've been like maybe talking about you or on phone calls about you or like talking to you, like your shit's been popping up a lot more.
No, 1000%, bro.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where my career is at right now. Is like people know, oh, that's that guy from that. That's that dude that from that. But I think like now it's time to like take over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
First off, I think we should introduce our guest, Legit Tim in
Bro,
the
this is
house.
the worst podcast ever.
Legit Tim in the house.
Legit Tim,
YouTuber,
everybody,
social
ladies and
media, influencer, and jack of all trades, I guess. Right?
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with that.
No, I would say the jack of all trades. Well, you know what? Maybe you could do a better intro for
Sure.
yourself because we obviously suck
Okay,
at this.
so I am Legit Tim from San Antonio, Texas. We do sneaker hypebeast content. I've had a wild social media story. I started when I was 11 years old on YouTube. Got inspired by Fred Figglehorn. Do y'all know who that is?
Never
The
heard
guy
of him.
that
Scientist.
So it was that no, not even close. It was that guy that had that like super high pitched voice, bro. Like at the very beginning of YouTube. He had like a movie with like John Cena on Nickelodeon and stuff.
We'll have to edit in a clip of that because
yeah, play that shit right now.
Bro, this was like years ago though, dude. And so I was 11 years old and I saved up $50, bro. I went to Walmart and I bought like a really, really, really cheap camcorder. It was like a little toy. It wasn't even for video, bro. And I started making it and I had like Movie Maker on Windows, bro. And I like fast forwarded ×2 so I could get that squeaky voice like he had. And just terrible, bro. Just like really bad.
Was this the era of like, who are some of those OG pranksters? Roman Atwood?
No, this was before,
Cali,
bro.
even
This
before.
was like when like
Jeez.
I want to say this is probably like when like Delgado was like taking over.
Yeah,
Timothy Delgado,
yeah.
like that era.
Wow.
So a little bit before then, for sure.
Well-
You remember like Shay Carl, like
Yes.
Shane Dawson, like of course he's
yeah,
been
yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
killing it.
Rest in peace.
Dude, I grew up with I grew up with this. So
I will say this. I think you've done a really good job of staying relevant, being that you've been on YouTube since you were 11 years old.
thank you, bro. And see, that's the thing, dude. And
Yeah.
this is what I'm gonna start to preach: is I don't believe there's a world of falling off. I believe there's a world of falling off if you only go by clout and like you do things to like promote yourself only by clout, I think the way to continue to stay relevant and to have a good career is to be best friends with the algorithm and adapt and just keep like changing up, bro. Like as the algorithm changes, obviously like daily vlogging isn't in anymore.
Yep.
So it's like now it's like more of like the challenge era. And I feel like somebody, for example, you know, like Shane, how he was doing like the documentaries and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, dude, I freaking like saw him when I was like 10 years old, bro. Like,
That's
you know what I mean? Now I'm like
crazy.
25, so.
So
So
he's
what-
one of your inspirations.
I mean, no, I never watched him. I'm just saying, like, can you
gotcha.
think of anybody else who's like stayed relevant since I was like 10 years old, bro? Like, I can't.
Logan Paul.
Logan, this was before the blow up of Logan.
This was
Yeah,
before, so this was before the Vine days.
Yeah.
Bro,
Before
this was
Vine?
way before.
my
Dude, this is when,
Fuck was
because
I
Logan's
doing?
like, okay,
I don't even think I knew about YouTube back
no,
then.
brother, look, so Logan's how old right now?
28, 27.
27, 2 years older than me. So if I was 11, Logan was 13 years old.
Wow, babies.
This is like the time frame that I'm talking about.
Jesus Christ. So you've been on video content. Like this has been, it's like in your blood. Touch.
So it's in my blood, bro. Like, I don't know what growing up without video streaming is like.
Wow.
Yeah. So like we never had cable in my household growing up. It was only YouTube. And then my dad got the subscription to Netflix before they did streaming, the CDs. Do you know
I
about
remember that. I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
that. I do remember that.
Yeah.
I do remember
Jesus
that.
Christ.
I sound old, but I'm only like 24.
I was going to say, you're 2 years younger than I am, bro.
So
That's
what were you
crazy.
posting initially though?
So like I think back then, you're talking about like Kev Jumba and like all those guys when they were coming up, it was all skits. That's all YouTube was pretty much. Smosh and like it was all skits. So it was just like me trying to like post skits in my room. But dude, I had like 300 subscribers for like 6 years or something, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to dive into this, bro. So like, because I've been posting on YouTube for about 5 years, and I think I just hit like 1,200 subscribers. You know what I mean? And I'm still going because I believe in it long term. I don't think it's a short term play. So like, when you're 13, 14 years old, like probably barely learning to like ride a bike, like what inspired you to like keep pumping out content when you weren't seeing the
Yeah, bro. I
results?
think like my passion. So right now my channel is predominantly like sneakers and hypebeast culture and stuff. And I think really back in the day when I was in like high school freshman year, thinking about like Fairfax Street, all the brands, bro. I was really inspired by all this like streetwear brands and stuff, Nicky Diamonds and Bobby
Yeah, shout out to
Hundreds and
Diamond
like
Supply Co. Remember those days?
yeah, bro. All those guys. Thinking about like I was just talking to some guy about this like Supra footwear.
Yep.
Yep.
Do you remember like Fallen sneakers? Remember Fallens?
I think that might be too old for me.
Okay.
No.
shit
Fallen.
myself.
I've heard of them before, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking of like
You're talking like the DC era, maybe.
kinda, yeah, skater, more like zoomies,
Okay.
like creative recreation and like things like that. I got really heavy into clothing and fashion and like streetwear. And the crazy thing was, growing up in like the south side of San Antonio, bro, like I was always the weird kid because it was like, what are you wearing, dude? Like, what are you wearing? Like, put on some American Eagle. Like, wear some Aeropostale. Wear some
like
Aeropostale
Hollister
like
type
everybody
shit.
else. Yeah. And so I
Interesting.
was over here rocking friggin' Crooks and Castles and like all this stuff. And like, I was looked at so weird.
You were ahead of your time though.
100%. And I don't think anybody realized that. And so, yeah, dude, that's what, honestly, that's what brought me back to YouTube. Because I didn't get any traction from the skits. Like, it's crazy because a lot of Mexican YouTubers, they all do skits. And I was the only one
Yeah.
that didn't blow up from skits. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I ended up, crazy story. I was really into like fashion and sneakers and I did like a snapback collection. I did like a shoe collection on this new channel that I started.
Yeah.
I called it Legit Looks for Life. Legit
Interesting.
Looks for
Yeah.
Life. So let me break it down for you.
Break it down.
So it was like I wanted something that was like describing that you were gonna be like, you were gonna look good forever about fashion. So it was like legit, which was like the word that describes it. I like wrote down a bunch of like little things. It was like legit, which described it. It was looks because it was like talking about clothing, and there was like for life.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So like it was very long though.
Yeah.
It's very long. And crazy part is I started getting into Air Jordans, and that's what really boomed the channel. Because like that community was like something I didn't even know about. I had like got into it freshman year. Problem was I couldn't afford any of the shoes. Literally couldn't.
Right.
You know, lower medium income household. and I had like $100 a year to get like shoes.
Damn.
So there was some years where I'd be like at shoe carnival, and like the shoes would fall apart after like 2 weeks. I get like made fun of and stuff. Yeah.
Shit. Wait, why were they fakes?
No, they weren't fakes. It's just the quality was so terrible
Gotcha.
of the
Cheap shoe.
shoes. Yeah, just cheap stuff. Like, so I came up with this. There was a couple guys on YouTube doing it, very small though, very small channels. And they had this series called Trip to the Thrift, where they would go thrift shopping and they would find like heat and stuff. So I started doing it. This was before like vintage was like in, and like everybody was like hunting at thrift. Like thrifting was not cool back then.
Sure.
It wasn't, like freshman year. And so I would go to the thrift stores. Nobody was thrifting. You would find a pair of Jordans for like $6.
Wow.
Wow.
And so I would document all of that. And like, I think I got super lucky because back then, I don't even think you could do custom YouTube thumbnails. And so it was like episode number 4. I had found a pair of bread Jordan 4s, and I got them for like $12. They just happened to be on the thumbnail. Like the video, it was like a certain time frame. It was like 3:01. It was showing the shoes, and that video ended up going crazy. Like it was doing like 50K.
But at that time, did you know about breads? Like, did you buy them intentionally? Like, oh, these are a good shoe that I could like
I
leverage?
did. Yeah, I
Okay,
did. And so that's kind of like what I was looking for. And so back then there was like nobody in the market that was like really doing it like that. Like the shoe channels were just like reviewing shoes and stuff. And the thrifting scene was like something that like I really did it because I couldn't afford anything, bro. I couldn't. So then I kind of like started figuring things out a little bit. I was like, okay, thrift shopping, you know, they don't really care about the clothing as much. It wasn't really as popular. They're commenting more about the shoes. So what else can I do about the sneakers? So started covering like Ross. Back in the day, you could
Ross
be able to
Dress,
find,
yes.
bro, back in the day, you could find
You could find
LeBrons, you could find Kobe's, you could find KD's for like $20.
Wow.
Yeah, you can find some steals up in there.
Back in the
if
day,
you're
not anymore,
searching.
not anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
But back in the day, they were dude, they were carrying a bunch of Nikes and like even Marshalls. I started doing Marshalls. In Marshalls, I would find like a pair of like LeBron South Beaches for like $20, dude. And I remember I bought like 6 pairs, flipped them on eBay. So I was like kind of doing eBay a little bit. And I was still trying to figure out my realm, like where do I fit in? So
Well, I gotta ask you, like, you're at this young of an age. Are you also like doing the whole school thing? Like, are you?
okay, so I thrived in like middle school, and like, you know, I was doing like plays, and like I was like Danny Zuko in Greece and stuff.
Oh, shit.
And you know, student council president.
Yeah.
But when high school hit, I think like I was so involved in like my church, and like I was such like a believer in like Jesus and stuff, that I never really got down with like what the kids were getting into. So I wasn't like, I feel like I kind of like didn't keep up with like the cool kids because of like my beliefs, and I wasn't like partying with them and drinking. I didn't start drinking until I was like 21. Yeah.
Probably a smart
That's
decision.
like the normal fucking age when you're
yeah,
sober.
the legal age.
So like
Neither did I.
Yeah, no.
I don't believe that one bit.
So like high school for me was terrible. And I ended up leaving high school. It was just like the stress and just like everything. I ended up leaving high school beginning of sophomore year. I got homeschooled for the rest of my sophomore year. I joined an early college. So I was doing college. I was going to like night school. But the crazy part was I don't think it was about the high school kids. I think it was about the maturity level. Because when I went to college, and it was like when I was a freshman, like the seniors, they were now in college. I was going to school with them, and I was vibing with them. Like we were home. Like it was great.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I don't know if my maturity level was higher than the kids at my age or what it was. But when I started hanging out with the kids that were in college, it was great. And I was doing college. I was doing church. I had a lot on my plate when I started my channel. I remember my schedule was tight. Like it was like in the morning, maybe make time for filming, go to school, go to college or early college, whatever, go to the gym. I think I was doing like an hour weightlifting, an hour in the pool at the time. And then it was like go to church, volunteering or whatever for like an hour or two. And then it was like go home and homework, edit my videos like till 5 a.m.
Wow,
like,
you're
it was
super
crazy.
structured, super early.
Well, that
It
makes
was
sense. Why
crazy.
literally right before the podcast, you were like, "Bro, I fucking hate, I hate when my schedule like has any open space."
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
bro, you've been doing this.
No,
like,
for sure. And
That's
so,
crazy.
and so eventually I was just so overwhelmed with everything that I felt like I had to like throw something off. Like I was like, I can't do all of it. So
fuck school.
no, so dude, it's crazy. There was a guy that I knew. He was flipping he was a big advocate for like dropping out. He was like, bro, you don't need school. You could be way successful without it. He was flipping fake Yeezys. He was
Been there, done that, brother. I was gonna ask you about babies.
dude.
Yeah.
He was flipping fake Yeezys, and he was making, I think, $20K a month at like 18 years old.
Not surprised.
But he was real involved with like LA and stuff, so he kind of like knew what was cool, what was hip, and so in San Antonio, it was like, bro, this guy's making 20K a month at 19. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
Right.
People aren't making 20K a year.
Facts. Yeah, I know.
So
Wow.
So I was like, man, this guy's really like sparking something in me that like I want to drop out. And so eventually I told my parents, and my parents were very supportive of the dropout. They were like, okay, you know, we believe in you. They were supportive of me leaving high school.
But what is that conversation? Is it like, yo, mom, dad, like, I'm gonna go sell fake Yeezys on Craigslist?
No. My
Or,
plan was
like-
not to sell fake Yeezys. My plan was YouTube.
Oh, okay.
YouTube.
Wow.
Okay, but
Interesting.
at this point, did you have like something to show for? Were you making a little bit of money? You're like, okay, this really could turn into something.
So
like,
let's throw it back a little
Yeah,
bit.
like-
Let's go down the timeline. So when I started YouTube when I was 11 years old, my parents made me delete my channel 5 times because the internet was so Wild West. It was
Yeah.
like, we don't want predators looking at you and stuff. But I kept going behind their back and making a new channel because I had so much passion for
Rebel.
it.
That's crazy.
I had so much passion for it. And anyways, they started seeing the money coming in, and it was crazy. I think when I dropped out of college, I was at 50,000 subs, which it sounds crazy now because like nobody would do that.
Right.
But I was at 50,000 subs, and I remember I just like went crazy with the vids. Like I was just every single day, just like daily doing vids, and I was doing like the whole sneaker thing, thrifting and shopping and all that stuff. And I remember one time, like at a Bible study, they were like, what is your prayers or whatever? And I was just like, I want to be self-sufficient next month. And I remember the whole Bible study laughed at me. But I was like, I prayed for it really hard, dude. And then I got a sponsor that was giving me $200 a video every week. So that was $800 a month. So I got to get my first apartment. And
wow.
I remember when I dropped out of college, though, it's always been those moments that it's like, you get that fire under you to like really, really grind. So when I was out of school, it was like, I don't want to be a loser. I don't want to be a failure. Let me work even harder. When I got my first place, it was like, let me work even harder. So I specifically remember those were the days that it was like, even when I had everything on my schedule, those were the days where I was working the hardest. Like those were the days where I was staying up till 5 a.m. every night. Started getting into Gary Vee at the very beginning. He was like on his
Sheesh.
second book or something.
Wait, this wasn't the time where he was on Wine Library, was it? Or
No,
was it-
not that
this
far,
is
not that
after,
far.
Okay.
He was like,
I was gonna say,
he
you were
was like
real
his-
early.
But like, I don't even think he was doing like YouTube like that or IG. Like he was just writing books, and it was like one of his first books, like Crush It or something.
Left hook, or yeah, maybe Crush It.
Crush It. And I remember I bought the audiobook, and I was just like, dude, there was this one night where I was just like, I would fall asleep to like his audiobooks, and I was just like, at like 5 a.m. after editing, I was like, God, I want this so bad.
Yeah.
I want this dream to happen so bad. And
But what was the dream like in those moments, right? Is it like, are you thinking about the money? Are you thinking about the fame, or do you really? Is it really just like building a big YouTube channel? Like,
so I think it was like the passion, and I think that at that time, that was when like Jake Paul was really coming up, and like Logan Paul.
Yeah.
And so that was even like crazier. And not only was I doing my main channel, but I was also doing a second channel daily.
sheesh.
So it was like
Yeah.
both channels. And I was really, really hustling, man. And I saw what was possible with YouTube. But I don't really feel like it was about the money. I think it was about like, let me be a big YouTuber. And like, kind of like, I feel like Mr. Beast kind of says it because he kind of grew up the same way. And he's like, I want to be the biggest YouTuber. And like, people don't understand it, but it's not about the fame. It's not about the money. It's just like, it's like, I grew up seeing these dudes hit 1 million subscribers. And I just wanted that million every single day. I would pray for it. I would think about it in the saunas, in the gym. It was just like 1 mil. That is what will make me an established YouTuber. When I hit 1 mil, it's the game. Like that's my life goal. Hit 1 million subscribers.
Yeah.
That's like, to me, it was like winning an NBA championship.
It's like a Grammy or some shit.
But now that you're there, you met your goal. What's next? Like,
Hold on, I feel like you're getting too far.
Yeah, bro.
Am I?
We're not
There's still so
wrapping it
much.
up yet, bro.
There's still so
We just
much,
started.
oh shit. No, I mean, no, it's just every
So-
time someone talks about like a milestone, they're just like, okay, hit it, do a little celebration, and then
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah. No, I'm
Okay.
guiding you, bro. I'm guiding you. Let's just
Yeah.
go through.
You got it, bro.
Go through the story. So at this time, I had met the love of my life, Beth, who was sitting back there. We met through church. And Her family wanted nothing to do with
So
me.
wait, sorry, y'all met how long ago?
What?
When was this?
So we've been, as of now, we're about to be married 6 years.
You've been married for 6 years?
6
So you got
years.
married when you're a teenager?
We got married when we were 14.
Four-
I'm just playing. Nah, we got married. I was 19, she was 18.
19.
Yeah, teenagers.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, and so I would like, dude, I would literally drive her to like high school and drop her off in the morning.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Ride or die, baby.
Wow.
So at this point, like grinding, I think like we were getting really close, and like her family is like hardcore Mexican, like hardcore. So it's like she was gonna be the first one in the family to go to college, like full scholarships, Penn State, all these schools. And I was taking her away from that. But at the same time, you got to remember, she was going for business. I was so inspired by Gary Vee, Casey Neistat. And so I was literally showing her this. And I'm like, you don't need to go to college. Because this was when it was big, bro. Like the college thing was like big. And it was like right in that time frame. So I convinced her to drop out. And
Oh.
My guy.
Damn.
yeah, bro. And her family literally wouldn't let us go on one date for like 2 years.
So were you sneaking
Super
around?
Oh, so you got
I
banned.
was-
You got banned from the family, basically. Like they were
Pretty
like,
much.
"Fuck
I
you."
was always the guy that I wanted to do things right. Remember, I was a good kid growing up.
Yeah, yeah.
So like everybody from the church wanted me for their daughter, except for her family. Yeah. And so
Wow.
and so I was always trying to go around to her dad and like be cool with him and like do things the right way, the polite way. But it got to the point where I just like fired up, bro. And I was just like, like I'm on one. And we just like started sneaking out. And then I was like, okay. And then it was like, okay, my career is about to go crazy. Like, I know I'm gonna go to LA for my first VidCon.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I want to really realistically though, I want to be right with God. Like, I don't want to be like sleeping around and stuff. So we told her parents, we sat them down and we were like, we're getting married next week. You're either gonna be there or you're not, and that's that.
Wow.
Damn.
And keep in mind, my
Damn.
parents were always fully supportive, so they backed us on this.
Wow.
They were like fully supportive.
Wow. I'm trying to think from her parents' perspective, like, whew, that's
Yeah, but you got to realize it was
heavy-
like 2 years of me just getting rejected, tried, rejected. So it was like, I don't care anymore. Like, it was
Jeez.
just-
And what was it about that relationship that was like so, like
I don't
why?
know, bro. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just
Yeah.
like when you know you found the one, like, you know,
yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Heard that.
crazy.
So at that point, were you already? Was this the moment where you were still at like $800 a month, like, or were you?
So I started getting a little bit more bread, but there's a funny story to when we got married. So Jake Paul and Logan Paul blowing up, you know, for like, dude, like the very beginning. And I was like, dude, like, I don't want to do shoes anymore. I want to do vlogs. So I was like, I hit the switch quick. Like, I didn't know transition, nothing. I was like, forget this. So I went from getting like 30 to 50 to maybe, you know, maybe sometimes 100K views a video to like getting 1K views.
Ooh.
And they were pissed, bro. My people were pissed.
Your fans were like, "What the fuck are you
So
doing?"
they started falsely flagging all my videos.
Oh, damn.
Dude, back then, when I started, my audience was savage. Like, you're talking about like,
Sheesh.
because like I had like a lot of like the sneaker guys, and it was very toxic. Like
Yeah.
my beginning audience. And when I made that switch away from shoes, my channel got terminated the week we got married.
Just for too many flags?
Yeah, like false flags.
Damn.
So it was like I got married. We got like a 2-bedroom instead of like a 1-bedroom, and I have no income.
Oof.
Yeah.
Wow. And at this
Wow.
point, what is she up to? She's just like,
She was in the process of starting a business, like starting an innovative business. She wanted like to do things with like the fashion industry, but we were kind of like waiting until we had our savings account good enough for her to start. And so it was terminated for a month. I literally just focused on my my second channel, and you know, it wasn't really going anywhere. But shout out to my network, they actually brought it back. So, and glory to God, because it was like bro, like, not to get religious or anything, but we literally like fasted, and then I remember we like got the channel back and stuff. It was crazy. It was like so like dude, I didn't know what was gonna happen with my life at that point. Like, it was so scary. We've
That's
had so many,
crazy.
and you know, like in successful people's life stories, like there's always the ups and downs, and like sometimes I forget about this stuff, but like just being on this podcast makes me think about like everything we've really truly been through. So I ended up getting the channel back, and then I remember something sparked it that really and expedited my growth, and that was like let me do something different than everybody else is doing. Because at this point, I'm doing like buying shoes. Everybody's buying shoes. There's a bunch of like YouTubers doing that stuff. But I was like, let me mix, because I noticed something about the shoe game. And I was like, the people that are rocking the Jordans are like more in like thug gear and stuff. And they take the game way too serious. Like they take the game way too serious. And there's a new generation of kids that don't need to be like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, let me mix comedy with shoes. And so I started doing more like, I want to say lighthearted, like comedy and more like challenges and things like that, but with the shoes. And so, yeah, just like trolling, like a lot of like the sneaker stores and stuff. And so like that really, really blew me
Were you
up.
doing like the ones where you like you put on the J's, then you like pretend like you're gonna run out the store and type shit, or was it like what
not
kind of
not
comedy
that
was-
crazy,
it
like
wasn't
not
that
to get like beat up, but it was like wearing like fake Jordans to Foot Locker, and then I started like experimenting, like I did like wearing fake Gucci to the Gucci store in like Vegas and stuff, and like then like I dressed up like a homeless to like the Gucci store and like bought like some Gucci, and like we would have people like wearing the camera strap like in the stores, it's like nonchalant, just like and so those videos were like really started popping off for me, like millions.
Wow.
And came to LA, you know, met Logan Paul, everything was crazy. And we ended up staying in San Antonio, though we were so young. We got like a nice condo downtown and hit a mill. But like, yeah, it was like after the mill, like when I hit the mill, it was crazy. It was a crazy story too. Cause like we went on a cruise with my boys and randomly, we didn't plan it, but we hit a mill in the middle of the ocean.
Oh,
so we were
wow.
popping champagne bottles, dude.
Turning
We
up.
were like, yeah, man, for
course.
real. We went to like the nicest restaurant, got like the
Hell
seafood
yeah.
thing, everything.
Hell yeah.
But really, after a meal, it was kind of like there was like an empty void. Because it was like, what's next?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, what do I
Where do
do
you,
next?
Where do you go from here? Yeah. And at that, when you hit the mill, was the bread nice? Like, are you
Oh
comfortable?
yeah, I was
Yeah.
making crazy money, dude. Like, yeah, it was, and I didn't even realize it at the time because it was like one of those things where it was like, I don't know, like I feel like yeah, it was weird, but I was so young making like crazy
Yeah.
cash, like
Yeah.
glory to God. And so we end up like, so here's where LA comes in. So I moved to LA the first time. Me and Beth, we moved to LA the first time. We lived on Wilshire La Brea.
Okay.
And when I moved here, I was like, bro, like, what is this place? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, we had like
Yeah.
homeless people outside construction. Like,
Yeah.
dude, the people weren't friendly like Texas. And like, I didn't even know what to film. I was so scared to leave the apartment. I was like, I think we were like really young. We were like 19. And so I was here for 3 weeks. And like the videos were tanking. Like, I didn't know what to film out here. And I like moved back after 3 weeks.
No way.
I broke my lease. I bought like the IKEA bed, everything, like the new mattress, bro. $2,000 mattress. I just left it in the apartment.
Wow.
Because you feel like the energy here just like drained your ability to create. Is that
I
what
was
happened?
so like the city just swallowed me and spit me back out.
That's how it is, man.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what LA does to you.
So then,
City of broken dreams.
yeah, man. So then we're grinding in San Antonio. We're grinding. And about a year, 2 later, I'm like, I think it's time again. I think it's time to go to LA.
And how old were you when we're in this moment?
When I first moved here, I was 19. The second time I moved here, I was 21.
Gotcha.
So channel's even doing better, man. I'm on top of the world, you know?
Yeah.
Really, really. And I think it's
And-
a smart move for you.
Yeah,
Right
and
now,
so
Jesus.
We moved out here, got like a dope penthouse, bro, in Glendale. Massive balcony view of the mountains. It was so sick. And so we were doing our thing, and it was just like, it got super lonely, super, I didn't have stuff to do. Like, I was just so like, I was here for about 5-6 months.
Yeah.
And then I started feeling like, it was weird, dude. I started feeling like depressed.
Homesick?
I've never felt that. I don't know. So my family came for Vid Summit because my sister does YouTube as well. After my parents saw me making the money
Yeah,
when she
yeah.
was younger, they were like, you need to start YouTube. You need to start YouTube. So she ends up starting. She has her own fan base. She has over 1 million now. She's 18.
Oh,
She's
wow.
killing it.
What
Hell
does she
yeah.
do? What's her video?
She does like more tech, like iPhone unboxings and stuff like that. She has a female audience. So I have a very strong male audience. So when we combine forces, it's just crazy. But they came out here for Vid Summit, and I remember just really hit me hard. I was like, damn, like I'm here without my family. I want to go home. It was a blessing in disguise, though, because we ended up going home, and we bought a house, and then COVID hit. So we were on lockdown.
Yeah.
And we were on lockdown for you know, it was terrible, dude. Like, lockdown really, really hurt me bad. bad because my videos were always like going out and filming, not like in the house unboxings or anything like that. At this point, trolling stores and stuff, everything was on lockdown. So really hit rock bottom again. The money was like, dude, I didn't even know how I was gonna pay my mortgage. I fired my boy who was like the editor and stuff. I didn't know what we were gonna do.
Wow.
And was it because the AdSense dollars were going down, or
It was the AdSense dollars. It
brand
was the
deal
lack
money?
of like me filming content. Like there was nothing to film because we were on lockdown. I had such bad anxiety, man. It was crazy. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I thought it was over again. I thought it was over again. And you know, glory to God, I ended up meeting Mr. Daryl Eves, which shout out to him.
Who's that? Daryl.
Daryl Eves. He is the one that runs Vid Summit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And Mr. B shouted him out on Joe Rogan. So you know he's legit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But like he's like, you know, one of my mentors now. And so I FaceTimed him, or I had a call with him, and I was like, man, I'm at rock bottom, you know, at my lowest point in life, dude. I couldn't even pay the mortgage, the AdSense. My money was so low. And he ended up helping me rebuild the channel. And about a year and a half later, we're back and we're stronger than ever.
Can I ask you, how did he help you rebuild your channel?
So here's the thing. I think that I was still accumulated to old school YouTube, and like, oh, dude, I was like thinking, like, I was looking at like old Fousey and like, because when he was blowing up, and I was like, bro, what if I did this? Like, he made so much money back then, and you know, but YouTube has changed so much now that it's like he helped me really get the data stuff down. So everybody that's popping off on YouTube right now, like Mr. Beast, Ryan, Eric, the one thing that they have down is the back end analytics. That is the one thing. The
And
data.
are you referring to like posting time, like watch
So posting
time?
time
Like,
doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's more of like if it's a good video and like it's good as far as like people are watching from beginning to the end, YouTube is gonna find a way to
Watch time, yeah.
go crazy. Like your video could be like you could have like maybe a little bit of audience, but like if your video is like the watch time's good, the click through rate is good, in about a couple weeks that video is gonna start to hit mills. Like it's just gonna grow. So it's like it's all about the data now.
Yeah. So one of my boys, are you familiar with Who Man?
Of course, bro.
Yeah. So fun fact, I used to manage Who Man back in 2019. That's how I
Yeah.
started my shit.
Oh, you were like his actual manager.
His manager, his
Dude,
day-to-day.
Man was crushing it.
Crushing,
And
bro.
that's the thing too. So I actually found Who Man's course.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Man, shout out to Who Man. He was on
Here's
this
the
podcast
thing
too.
though. Here's the thing though. It's not public anymore. So
I remember this. He took
so
it
I
down.
had to go through like some secret websites to find it.
Pornhub.com.
Yeah. No, but I found it because I was so hungry and I was like, Who Man's crushing it. Like
I think
how
he hit
can
10 mil.
How can I get into this kind of views? And so I was watching Who Man's advice, but Who Man had made his course like 3-4 years before then I started implementing his advice, which was like old info. You know?
Yeah.
Got it.
So it was like he was big on like the CEO. That's what the SEO.
SEO.
That's what he really came up on.
Yeah.
Was SEO, and like SEO
sure.
doesn't even matter anymore. It's all about suggested content. And so I was like, I started following his advice, and I was just trying to figure it out, man. And but yeah, man, Who Man is that's exactly,
Legend.
bro. He was when he
Yeah.
came up, he was real into the data when nobody else was.
Yup.
He was like the first guy that was into data.
Yup.
And that's why he was doing the numbers he was doing.
Yep. He would tell me that. He would just like sit there for hours at his desk just studying the data and the numbers and like, because the content was easy. You get a Lambo, you hire a couple hot chicks, put
Right.
a video,
Right.
But it's like, what's the strategy when you're deploying the content? Like,
Right, exactly. Thumbnails and stuff.
Yeah.
And so yeah, man, he's killing it, man, for sure. And he was like, yeah, it was crazy though, because like it's like nobody else. But the crazy part about I feel like the data taking over is like I feel like there's beginning to be a lack of personality on YouTube. Because it's like you can't really get to know a person because with TikTok, everybody's attention span is so short
Yeah.
that like nobody's truly developing a true fan base. Like I feel like the only people, well, there's a couple, but people that are doing it really well is like Nelk Boys, because like, bro, like you get attached to Kyle, you get attached to Steve, and like you really like their personas. But it's like a lot of this new content is just like bam, 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 let me da, 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 da. And it sucks
Quick.
because like I got to do it too. But it's like how do people get to know the real you?
Yeah.
The only way that I'm seeing people that are really developing like really hardcore fan bases is like the streamers,
True.
because they have like they
Yeah.
have, you know,
Kai Sanat and
Yeah.
Jadion and these guys.
yeah, I show speed. Like he's just like crushing it. I
Crushing.
think I just saw he's like number 12 on the music right now. Passed up like
Is he?
passed up like Future and Drake song and like yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy.
What?
It's crazy.
I didn't even know he made music, but that makes a lot of sense.
And it's growing still.
Wow.
I want to take it back to something because I've noticed throughout the podcast you've mentioned like glory to God and like God and your involvement in the church a lot.
Right.
And so I'm good friends with George Janko because I do a lot of his brand deals and
Yeah.
I've noticed how for him his relationship with God leads everything that he does, right? And so like what was it about God and the church that really inspired you and why do you still to this day keep that so crucial or like
Man,
key in
so
your heart?
it's really tough. Speaking about church is like, man, I feel like it's really hard for me to like relate with everybody in the church because like it's like they see success and making money as like you're going to hell. You know what I mean? So it's like really hard to like find people that really relate to you because it says there's a Bible verse that says for the love of money is the root of all evil. And a lot of people get it twisted and they just say the money is the root of all evil. It's not money, it's the root. I mean, it's the love. It's the love of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like people get it twisted a lot of times and I've gotten like messages on Facebook and stuff and they're like, "Hey brother, I'm praying for you." Like, you think just because I'm having some success that I'm doing bad with God? Like you're questioning my relationship with God because I'm successful.
I had that kind of thing when I was younger in the church. They were like, you can't get tattoos, you can't do this, you can't do that. And it kind of like threw me
a lot
off
of that,
when I
man,
was
a lot
younger.
of that is like having to do with like heavy religion. And I think it like turns people away. But
Yeah.
like for me, it's like the relationship with Jesus that really needs to remain strong. And that's the thing, man. Like a lot of like Christians will get into arguments about, hey man, well, I didn't like that preaching because da 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 da. Bro, as long as like you have that relationship with Jesus, that is truly what's going to get you into heaven. So I think like a lot of these arguments are turning people away from the church.
Were
instead
you
of showing
raised
love.
like that, or did you make that decision consciously on your own? Like, I want to have a relationship with God, or was it like your family was like, you need to have a
No, I
relationship
mean,
with
like
God?
I think going into like freshman year and stuff, I was really, I mean, trying to fit in. So I started almost like diving into like that kind of lifestyle, and I really grew up in the church all my life, so it was just like whatever. But I think whenever I dropped out of school and I got really involved in my church, that's when I really started having that relationship with God. And I remember like been a lot of times that have tested my faith. Like my parents, were on the verge of like divorce. And I remember that's when I really was getting on my knees every night and praying, all night, screaming at the top of my lungs. And like, glory to God, like he kept them together and stuff. But I think that time period in my life, like right before I dropped out of college, was like really the time that But what was your question again? Did I answer your question?
You hit it. Yeah.
No, you got it. Yeah, you answered it great. Yeah, so yeah, but I want to kind of ask you about the sneakers, man. When you were going in with fake shoes and everything, were the people like calling you out? They're like, "Oh, look at this guy," or were they like, "What?"
I mean,
that like?
it was kind of a mix, man. Like it was funny
Did you
because
fool 'em?
like for example, like the Gucci store, like I had like screen printed like some fake Gucci and like ironed it on, and like I went to like the Gucci outlets, and the guy was just like, I was like, "Do you have any of this?" And he was like, "Let me check in the back." Like he got fooled or whatever. And then like, bro, and then like the next time I went to the Gucci store, I was recording another video low key, and he was like, "Can I talk to you for a second?"
Oh shit.
And I was like, "Yeah." And I was young, and he was like, "So I saw that video." He was like, "We're gonna ask you don't film in here anymore." Meanwhile, we were recording him all that shit. He didn't know we were recording him because I think I had a different camera that time. It was like a smaller camera.
And were you always secret about it, or did you always have like cameraman like?
No, I mean it was different. I think like for obviously like the Gucci store, it had to be like hidden. If not, we would have gotten thrown out. But like for like the Foot Locker people, like I became homies with them, but like they knew that like we were like trolling, but like they didn't know what we were gonna troll them with. So we would just like start whipping out stuff. Like I think like dude, my ideas were just flowing. There was one time where like it was random. Like I would come in as like a Foot Locker employee. I had like bought the uniform and I'm just like, "Sir, can I help you?" And then they see me and they're just like, "Oh man,
That's
dude."
cool.
And then like there was another time where like I I cut off the Nike check off of the Air Force Ones, and I was like trying to return them without the check. Like just like creative ideas, man. Like just creative ideas like that. One time I made a really, really big check, like a massive check, like you know how they donate. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna buy these shoes or whatever. We get to the checkout, and then my boy comes in with the big old check, like just like trolling them, like just like I mean, it was cool though. But Foot Locker ended up banning me in San Antonio.
No way.
No.
The DM was like an old school dude, and he ended up banning me. And I've never spoken about this because I'd never wanted any like bad blood with them. But the crazy part is that meanwhile, while they were banning me, Foot Locker corporate was still sending me PR packages because they loved what I was doing. So
Well,
the
because you're bringing so
miscommunication-
much attention. You're bringing so much attention.
Yeah,
to their,
so the miscommunication.
yeah.
My boy was the #1 seller in America because of the videos.
Wow.
And you know what they did? They fired him
Shit.
Because it's an association with you or what?
because of the vids.
Damn.
They just didn't understand. It was such an old school mindset that the dude had that like he fired like 3 people there in my vids.
Is it still like that, or have they like come to terms like, oh, this is? he's
You know,
bringing
I
this
haven't really tried because everybody in the city knows. Like even like other like content creators have tried to go in there, like shoe guys or whatever, and they're like, you know, legit Tim. Yeah, that's why we don't have cameras in here. But that's just San Antonio. Like I'm pretty sure I could run it in LA or whatever because they get it. LA
Yeah.
gets it.
Oh yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I mean? Like the dude, like for example, I'm out here in LA, right? I'm having meetings with like the marketing team from Shoe Palace. They're like, the CEO saw your videos, they love you, they want you to do more stuff with Shoe Palace. I'm like, dude, that's amazing. I go back home to San Antonio, and they're like, nah, you can't be filming here.
You're
I was
like a menace out there, and you're like,
bro, I was like,
Yeah.
dude, I was just meeting with the head of marketing for Shoe Palace. Like, yeah, sure, whatever. We don't, you know,
yeah,
get
they're
out.
not gonna buy that shit.
I'm curious to see like how much sales you're responsible for.
Dude, it's not only like Foot Locker, but like you got to think of like these mom and pop stores that I've been filming out for years, getting millions of views. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it's kind of
Yeah.
like one of those things where it's like I need them for my content, and like it's like, you know, so I just let them eat, build good relationships with them.
Yeah.
You know, and eventually, when it's time to like drop product or whatever, hopefully I can keep those good relationships and like put it in their stores.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of like the mode that I'm on now is like, okay, we got the content down. We got a couple million subscribers. Let me venture out. Let me start new businesses.
I was about to ask you.
Yeah. So like everything I'm wearing right now, this is like the new brand that I'm dropping, I'm working on, and nobody's done it like this before, bro. It's like a cool new technology where it's like, the idea for this brand is it's inspired by a sneaker. It's like inspired by like a Jordan 1. So there's like the material on it, like the leather,
I see it now.
but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like inspired by like a Jordan 1 UNC. These are supposed to be like the air holes, and we're still like making revisions and stuff, but you see like the stitching and stuff. It's like inspired by a sneaker.
shoe, yeah.
So it's like deconstructing the sneaker and turning it into, and we're gonna do sweats and stuff. The other thing is like I'm teaming up with this new brand, dude. It's called Stellar, and basically it's like a fresh new take on like
Crocs.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's cooler, bro, because like I'm not gonna
is
wear
that it right
Crocs.
there?
Yeah, this is it.
Hard as fuck.
yeah.
But
I
it
thought
looks
they were
like
Louis Vuittons when I saw them.
it looks, that's what he's going for, like a higher end type
Higher
of feel
end,
to it.
yeah.
But it's like basically it's like I wouldn't wear a Croc. The foam runners were still kind of like, you know, it was like I don't really want to like rock these after a while because they kind of look kind of weird. But these, bro, you can rock with whatever. I wore them to the streamies the other night with my suit, and it just looked so organic. Like it didn't look funky. Like you're not wearing an alien on your foot. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
look like a shoe.
They're hard.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Did
they
you win
got-
a streamy, or were you nominated?
No, not yet.
It's-
We're barely
you,
making it in the streamies, you know what I mean? But the crazy part is, man, is like we're starting to like become friends with the people that are winning the streamies. And I feel like back then it was so unattainable to like be in that industry. Like when Logan Paul, James Charles, these were massive names. And it's like now, like I'm homies with people that are winning the streamies. So I feel like we're right there. You know what I mean? God willing,
sure.
dude, in the next like
sure.
year or so, like we're gonna be there.
How was that? How was that streaming's experience?
It was fire. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was, dude. Like, it's crazy because like I feel like I'm so blessed to like, but like it's like one of those things where it's not even like a movie to me anymore because like we're so in the industry
right
now that
there,
like
You're right there.
no. So like when I was a kid, it's like seeing Fousey at the streamies and Jesse Wellens and all these guys like watching from Texas. It's like, dang, bro, like that's crazy. Like, you know, maybe one day in my life I'm gonna win a streamie. Now we're at the streamies, bro, and I'm talking to like
Yeah.
all these people that I already know.
And
like the
you
managers
could be
and
a
everybody's
contender,
out
yeah,
there.
and you could be a contender real soon.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, it wasn't like me going in there and it's like, oh my gosh, we're with all these big names. It's like, dude, it's like people that I'm familiar with, like all the homies that I've networked with in LA. You know, I mean, you know how you probably would have known everybody in there. Like everybody.
Where's my
like,
fucking invite, streamies, motherfuckers?
Yeah, no. So actually,
Oh.
I
I need
actually
my
got
agency
in.
of the year award.
I'm gonna
dog.
tell you the secret. So there's companies that like buy tables at the streamies, like Jelly Smack and like Carrot
Should've-
Cards and stuff.
should've done that.
So
Yeah.
like I hit up Eric and I was like, yo, like you gotta see for me at the streamies with the Carrot
Oh, for
Card.
real?
Yeah. So I got to get in there. But I think like streamies is very exclusive, and so it's kind of like one of those things. It's like who you know, and it's like the Carrot Card thing. So it's dope.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, boys. I gotta take the fattest piss of my fucking life right now, so I'm gonna excuse myself. But y'all should continue.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I really have to pee. I'm
All
pissed
right,
my
yeah.
pants.
I have some questions about
No, yeah, let's do it. Can I actually get some more water, dude?
Yeah. Yes. Oh,
Okay, fire. Thank you, bro.
yeah. We'll just put on a hold.
Damn, I kind of gotta take a piss too.
go.
though. Should I go now?
Let's just all go right now because she's got the key.
Okay, let's do it.
Just keep it running. Yeah, I'm gonna down that whole water bottle.
That's super good.
Thank you.
So you like do all this like behind the scenes stuff.
Literally everything. His full-time manager. Done up running a business.
Yeah. Are you gonna be into the shoes and all that too?
Yeah, I am actually. So I have like just the regular ones on right now, but I have like Travis on back at the hotel.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I guess I love being into sneakers, but I'm also still very girly.
I feel that.
So like half of Shibit brought our heels, half of Shibit brought our sneakers,
Yeah, for sure.
and then yesterday I got a pair of those Stellars.
Man, that what he's wearing,
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
They're really good.
We walk in.
So comfy.
Cause I love Crocs and stuff too.
Yeah? Would you, if you saw those at Crocs, would you take Crocs because of the name, or you would be intrigued in
Oh
the
no, I'm
fashion?
intrigued by the look and everything. Like the only reason I've really gotten into Crocs is because you can like customize your things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what.
So that's like, I think that's like super far down the line currently. Like they're gonna start with colorways next, but they're sticking with like the monochromatic right now, just the all like where it's like subtle, but it's like nice.
I like it. I like it.
But I think like what they're trying to do is like once they get the technology to like put chains on the laces.
Oh, okay. Tight. Like, yeah.
Elevated a little bit, so it's luxurious, but not too big.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, I guess now would be the time. This cup is broke.
Are you gonna hit it now?
No, yeah. You have to.
Oh,
Most of my sneakers are like corresponding pairs.
Sheesh, straight out the bottle. Let's go. So what is your background, man? What are you doing on a daily basis?
I am for the last 8 years after college, I'm a photographer.
Okay,
Portrait
fire.
photographer, and now I work at Divij Media.
So sick.
So we're bringing in the influencer deals. That's it.
It's fire, bro. Y'all gotta
Yep.
keep me in mind for sure, man.
Yeah, so it's cool, man. My sister is she blew the fuck up on
Really?
TikTok. She's just over the last 8 months, she went from 100,000 TikTok followers to 4.7 million.
That's crazy.
4.7 million.
The last 8 months because it's so hard to grow on TikTok right now. Like back in COVID, dude, it was so easy. Like,
Yo, yeah,
dude,
that's what I mean. I got
bro,
100,000 on COVID.
Bro, I got
during
like
COVID.
500K in like 2 days during COVID.
Yeah.
But like now it's like so hard to
That's
grow. So the fact that
crazy.
she's growing, what kind of content does she do?
She does food and but now at this point it's mostly food centric. But at
Okay.
this point, now that her audience is so like devout, she could post anything. And she's just got a
She gonna
really
transfer that like to shorts.
Bro, she has 2 YouTube videos, full length YouTube videos. The rest are shorts. 160,000 followers on YouTube in 9 weeks.
Oh my gosh,
9
amazing.
weeks.
That's amazing, bro.
Crazy. Shorts are like,
Dude, so like my boy Jesser, he won a streamy and for sports, and
Uh-huh.
at the beginning of the year he was at 3 million subscribers, been grinding for years, dude.
Yeah.
And then now he's about to hit 10 mil like this week.
on YouTube.
Shorts.
Shorts.
At the beginning of the year he was at 3 mil, dude.
Dude, you can really grow the audience on shorts, but it's like it's not the same like monetization structure.
Yeah.
Like you don't make that
Yeah.
much on
Have
shorts.
you seen him? Have you seen that guy Zong?
No.
I just met him at the streamies. I think he got like 20 million in 1 year from shorts on YouTube. He got
No
20 mil.
way. That's fucking
I think
wild.
they said he was
So-
like the #1 breakout creator or something.
So it is in our line of work. It is harder for us to bring deals on shorts. Mm-hmm. It is harder for.
I was just talking to my network about that because I think the brands are gonna start to be more aware. Though.
They're gonna be more aware of
for
it,
sure.
For sure.
The only thing with shorts is it's really hard because for a short to go viral, you got to get them to watch more than 100% of the short. So like they
Right.
have to like watch it again. It's weird, dude. It's like, so I think like if you do a brand deal in a short, it's gonna like really hurt the short and like it's not gonna grow. Cause like if you're like, hey, check out, so and so, like it's gonna like you're gonna be like, okay, skip.
Right.
You have to like, dude. With this new
you
audience,
have
you have to,
there's
like-
definitely a formula. It's like if you don't get them in the first second, like
Yeah,
you're
that's why like
gone.
our format is literally like, how can you watch from the beginning to the end? That's why challenges are taking over. Really, that's why challenges is all YouTube is about. Cause like it's just how can we get the viewer to watch from the beginning to the end, and it's you have to do like a challenge. So like that's kind of like why Mr. Beast is like where he's at. Cause
we want to incorporate some challenges onto the pod. But we're trying to figure it out. I was almost gonna bring the one chip challenge, but I think we would have been hurt.
Well, I think like
I think
for
we've
me,
been hurt.
no. So for me, it's like one of the things that I do on my shorts is like trivia,
Yeah.
5 questions or like something like 3 questions or whatever. If you get one of them wrong, then you have to do something like a punishment.
You gotta go. Dude, just sit down real quick. Let's just wrap it up,
Yeah, let's
and
do it,
then
let's do
I'll do the short fire.
For sure,
All
for
right.
sure.
All right, guys. Back from the intermission break. I just got one question, man. You told me you're moving to LA.
Yeah.
What's the plan for the
Man,
next
the plan
couple?
for LA is like, how can we become like the next really breakout creator, go more mainstream with it, really tell people like who I am, and really represent Latinos because there's such a lack of representation when it comes to like the Latino influencers. There's nobody out here really doing it really mainstream. And so I think like I want to be an inspiration to kids who don't have somebody to look up to. Like I didn't have anybody to look up to Latino wise. So I think it's like something like that. I think I get into acting. I think we do like maybe some Netflix, kind of like I told you I was Danny Zuko. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think maybe like something along the brand.
I
maybe,
could
like,
see that legit team Netflix show.
maybe some reality or
Yeah, hell yeah.
or,
Oh, yeah.
or maybe some iCarly. You know what I mean?
Sheesh.
Maybe some Nickelodeon. I got the face for it, but I shave this, I'm gonna look like I'm in high school. I'm gonna look like I'm in high school. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna wrap this up
Yep.
quick, but I got a couple questions. Right off the rip, can you tell if she was fake or real?
yes,
Fake or real?
I have to feel the quality,
Feel it.
bro. I don't. Is that
Red bottoms.
It's
the red bottoms?
Christian Louboutin.
Louboutin.
If you had to
Yeah.
guess.
if I had to guess what they are,
Fake
They
or
look
No,
real.
if you had to guess
They
fake
look
or
real to me.
bro, I wouldn't disrespect you and call them.
No,
fake,
just
man.
whatever you think.
I would have to feel it legit. I would have to feel it. That's the only way. Online, you could get finessed with just a picture.
They're fake as shit.
Are they really?
Yeah.
I didn't want
just
to.
bought
Are they?
I bought them on Melrose like 20 minutes ago.
Wow.
Bro. Yeah, I mean, you
got
really
me.
have to feel the quality. I think, like, just looking at it, I'm not like that good. but-
Yeah.
2 more questions. What's the deal with people smelling shoes when they're authenticating them? What's that about?
Dude, I don't know. Some people have told me like sneaker stores like blindfold me, and I'm gonna tell you like what shoe it is based off of the smell.
You seen what Bad Bunny does to verify shoes?
Yeah, he like hits his head.
He hits it on his head.
Yeah,
What the fuck is that?
dude, I don't know. Bad Bunny numbers. It's a robbery.
Facts.
What I was gonna say was, where was I going with that? We talked about Bad
The
Bunny.
shoe smell.
The shoe smell. Yes. So this is the thing about me though. There's a lot of creators that are sneakerhead first, creator second. I'm creator first, sneakerhead second.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So I'm not like in the realm of like, I don't know the smells.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like,
And last question. What's the most in trouble you've ever gotten filming your content?
the most trouble I've ever gotten,
Yeah.
I almost went to prison. but we're gonna save that for part 2.
Sheesh.
I love it.
Part 2 coming soon, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Divij Dem podcast, episode 62. Go follow the boy Legit Tim, Christian Yee, your boy Divij Vaswani. Subscribe, leave a review, please. It's very helpful. And that's it.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks for coming.
All right, boys.
All right, cool. Yes, I was like, we just gotta wrap it up, bro. You gotta
Yeah,
stay.
no,
You
I
can't just
appreciate
leave it. Okay. Tim wants to come to the show.